season last night, but 2 late turnovers, including an Andrew Luck interception, allowed the Eagles to steal a win in Indy. Luck and the Colts are now 0-2, which allows us to bring back our ongoing debate. Does it allow us to do that? Our ongoing debate of the Colts' former quarterback and their current signal caller. Did the Colts make the right move choosing Andrew Luck over Peyton Manning? The floor is yours.
Floor is mine.
Yes.
Well, now qualify yourself.
I think we know.
Well, come on.
Yeah, I played with Peyton for 13 years. I wish he would have retired as a Colt. Career would have ended there 100%. I mean, that guy completely changed a city, a community from racing and basketball to a football town. Lucas Oil was built on what he did. So that's out there. There's no doubt. Organizationally, I think they had to make the decision they did at the time they did. $25 million, don't know where his health is, got the first pick of the draft. What are we going to do? How are we going to evaluate this? And honestly, I think it's a bit unfair to Andrew Luck at this point in his career to try to compare him to what Peyton Manning has done in Denver, right? You go out to Denver, you're stacked. You know, John Elway he's backing up the Brinks truck. He's bringing everything in. Andrew Luck has played with a mediocre offensive line at times. He has zero run game. Defense hasn't been fantastic for him. So I think if he's not the first, he's one of the top most hit quarterbacks in the NFL over his first 2 years. And in spite of that, he has won 11 games each year, won a playoff game, gone to the playoffs twice. Guy's a great leader. He is welcomed in that locker room and in that organization. People love him. The people that I know that would never have talked about what a class act this guy truly is and how his leadership is infectious, his humility, the way that he carries himself in that locker room, the level of accountability he puts on himself. So Colts long-term, they did what they felt was in the best interest of their football team. Now, you look at Peyton Manning on the other side. I mean, MVP, what can you say? The guy, 55 touchdowns, throws the ball over the field, takes your team to the Super Bowl. His numbers are you can't argue what a great quarterback he really is. So I think where Jim Irsay made his decision, I don't know that I would have made the same decision.
Thank you.
However,
he hasn't even said it yet.
Hold on. I don't know that I would have made because I am a fan of Peyton. I mean, he's a friend, but I am a fan of the way he worked. Like, I know how that guy worked. I didn't have any doubt he would come back. I mean, even when he had doubt, I didn't doubt. So, but that was me, and me seeing him practice, me seeing him do all those things. So for me, I would have loved to see him retire in the one and done fantastic in what they're doing. So I'm going to be as PC as possible to end it up
this
right
is one
here.
of the great PC tap dances I've ever
heard. I have to be.
Stephen A., do you want to chime in before I jump in?
Jump on you, unfortunately.
Jeff Saturday, perhaps it's a rhetorical question, perhaps it is not. Quick question for you before I make my point.
Okay.
Do you pick Peyton Manning for 3 years, or do you pick Andrew Luck for 15 to 20?
You're talking about just a long-term value.
Yes.
Yeah. For organization, Irsay had to make the decision he made. Right.
All I'm trying to say to you, Jeff, is don't fall victim to that to that slickster next to you who just sits there and tries to change the narrative any chance he gets. Jeff Saturday, Stephen A. Smith, nobody with sense about the sport of the NFL is remotely trying to imply that Andrew Luck was, is, or even will ever be a better quarterback than Peyton Manning has been over his illustrious career. The question has always been, if you are the Indianapolis Colts, blessed with the #1 overall pick, do you take a franchise quarterback who in all likelihood will be around for the next 15 to 20 years, or do you shove him aside to keep a future Hall of Famer who's won a Super Bowl ring for you, who's fresh off of 4 neck surgeries, you don't know about his health, and oh, by the way, even if he is healthy, the likelihood is that he's going to give you 5 years before he walks into the sunset and call it a day. That's the narrative. Skip Bayless tries to change it into something else every chance he gets because he tries to sit there and fake our positions to elevate his own. But in the end, that's what it comes down to. Andrew Luck, 11-5 over the last 2 seasons. Rookie year, 4,300 yards passing, threw 18 interceptions and 23 touchdowns, only completed 54% of his passes. His second year, he throws for nearly 4,000 yards. He cuts his interceptions in half from 18 to 9. He elevates his completion percentage from 54 to 60. The growth, the maturation, the leadership is clearly apparent. And, this is en route to being sacked 73 times in 2 years. Suspect offensive line. No running game worth speaking about. This is Andrew Luck. You want to talk about keeping Peyton Manning in Indianapolis? You want to keep him there with that offensive line? Absent a running game? You really want to do that with him coming off of those neck surgeries, being in his mid-30s? You go right ahead. The Indianapolis coach went the young route. They went with the youth movement. And last time I checked, Peyton Manning went home the same time they did 2 years ago. And, by the way, he played an additional week or 2 after Andrew Luck. That's it. Andrew Luck's been in the postseason, too. That's all I got to say.
That's it.
That's it.
Drop the mic. Your turn.
He's done.
Wait. Are we still on?
Yeah.
I didn't know. I fell asleep. I'm sorry. I didn't. What's the question? We're talking about Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck. Here's the real narrative, Mr. Saturday. Help me out here. 2 years ago, last year, this year, next year, which of these 2 quarterbacks would have given the Indianapolis Colts the better chance to win a Super Bowl? 2 years ago, last year, this year, next year. I believe it would be, without a shadow of a doubt, the guy who's in Denver right now, the guy that you know all too well, because I made a mistake. And I first guessed this before the owner in Indianapolis pushed Peyton out the back door, because he pushed him out the back door. Here, let me pat you on the head, and it's been a nice... You wanted to see him finish in Indy, so did I. And I first guessed it by saying Peyton Manning will go to Denver and make the Pro Bowl the next 3 years. I undersold that. He is an MVP candidate. I think he should have been 2 years ago. He was last year. I'm pretty sure he's going to win it this year. That's just me, and I'm not going to write him off for a year from now, because he looks like he is energized, revitalized once again, driven, and playing at a supremely high level. So all I'm asking is, and I first guessed it, this is not jumping on the bandwagon on the back end. I drove it from the start. I said, no, Mr. Irsay, you're making a huge mistake. You have to keep the franchise. The house that Peyton built, Lucas Oil, has to have Peyton Manning for the next 3 or 4 years. I don't care about Andrew Luck. And so far, and this is a whole nother argument, the bar got set very high because I was told he's going to win Super Bowls, plural, and he's going to win many MVPs and be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I have not seen that yet. I think there has been some premature coronation of Andrew Luck, who has not quite lived up to that. And he failed, this silver-tongued devil that I'm looking at right here in the,
well,
the monitor.
A devil.
He failed. He's not a devil. He's not.
It's all right.
He's my devil.
My father
I
calls
love my devil.
My father calls me that. I mean, it's all out of love.
But he is
no
silver-tongued. He's got that silver tongue. But the point is that, listen, Andrew Luck, like a lot of rookies, his first year in this league, he was second in the NFL in total turnovers. And last year in the playoffs, I'm going to bring it up one more time because people are giving him a pass. Yep. He threw 7 postseason interceptions in 2 games. Not 4 or 5, 7. 3 and 4 at Foxborough. Okay, I'm sorry. Peyton would have given you a better chance to win it all. I'm not saying he would have won it all, but, hey, wouldn't you have liked to see your friend in Indy for 4 more years?
I definitely would have.
Yeah.
Stephen did bring up a good point, though.
He did?
With the offensive line the way it was, or the way it is now, it would have been a big, difficult situation to do. He would have gotten hit a ton. But this is my.
Well, he gets rid of it quick.
No, you're right. You're right. But as far as giving you the best chance to win, that's where I say it's an unfair comparison when you're talking about the two. Peyton Manning in his 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th year, is always going to give you a better chance to win than any first, second, third, fourth year quarterback. That's just the bottom line. He's the best quarterback in the game for a reason. And like you said, MVP, best player in the game last year and arguably the year before.
Sure.
If you look at the way he plays, the command of the game, the command of the offense, he would have given you a better chance. I think when Irsay made the decision, he had thrown away the idea they were going to compete for a Super Bowl. I think, honestly, he thought we're going to rebuild. We're going to rebuild around Andrew Luck, and in 4 or 5 years, we'll begin to put push the pedal down. I think that was the decision he made for an organization. I think he understood that this was not going to be a team that could compete for that Super Bowl right away, just because of the changing of the guard, per se.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, he did not answer the question.
I told you, in my heart, I wanted Peyton to be a Colt till he walked away, beyond a shadow of a doubt. If that was my team, if I was writing the checks, I would have done it.
Stephen A. with the
But
the fact is that Irsay was rebuilding.
That's right.
Which means that Andrew Luck has them ahead of schedule.
Silence.
Well, I got to add.
You defend.
Here's what happened. The Colts doctors decided Peyton was so damaged goods he wasn't worth the risk. That's what happened, and Peyton's doctors convinced the other teams, starting with the Denver Broncos, he is worth the risk.
Well, then stop blaming the Colts.
Well, okay.
Jeff Saturday, it's good to have you
that
on
was
a
fun.
Tuesday. Maybe we'll see you another day.
Absolutely.
Corny.